Welcome to the Sound of Life kitchen. Our family and I are going to be sharing some wonderful recipes that are proven in this kitchen using our famous salt. And it begins today with focaccia. Bernardo, come over here.
Hi.
And there's nothing better than cooking with your family, especially when they're wonderful chefs. So let's go ahead and start preparing our bread.
What are we making?
We're making focaccia.
Ah, family favorite.
Family favorite, that's right. Everybody loves it. So let's get, it's a very easy, as you see, this is a bread that requires so little, and you probably already have all the ingredients in your pantry. Okay, so let's start.
Flour.
We're going to use flour.
Flour, yeast,
That's right.
our olive oil, and of course, our salt of life.
Our salt.
The moon salt.
That's right. And the other ingredient that is not on the table yet is the lukewarm water, which is very important in any bread.
Okay, so let me get the water running, and it'll be hot in a little
That's
bit.
perfect. So let's just start with the flour.
There's 2, 3, 4, 5, and then our healthy half.
That's perfect. And I'm going to sift it just to make sure that it'll be a fluffy focaccia. Okay, so by now I have sifted 5½ cups of regular purpose flour. Let's add the dry ingredients first.
And that is the yeast.
Yes, 1 tablespoon of yeast. Good. And then 1½ teaspoon of our salt.
Okay. Mix this up. So we're going to move the coat.
Okay.
And we'll be using how much?
1½ tablespoon of salt.
Man, it looks beautiful.
It does. It's delicious. Only half of that.
Is that okay?
A little bit less. That's about right.
All
Okay,
right.
so let's see it. Now we're gonna do 4 tablespoons of olive oil, and use the best olive oil you can possibly find because that'll make a difference in the taste.
All right.
Okay, go ahead. 4.
Focaccia is all about the olive oil.
That's right. Now notice that most yeast breads require you to use sugar, but this is a wonderful recipe and it's actually completely sugar-free.
Awesome.
Okay, and the water,
And the water.
and then we'll be done with our ingredients, and we're going to do a little minimum kneading.
Okay.
Go ahead.
There we go.
Now let's see this all coming together. It's really a sticky mixture at first. This is a soft dough. It's a very dry day today. I think we're going to need a little bit more water. And
Okay.
so bring me some. The whole purpose of the dough is being very sticky and soft. So I want a little bit more of a...
Just tell me when.
Put it in. A little bit more, and that should do it. Thank you very much. Oh, perfect. Now you see, this is sticking together. This is how focaccia dough looks like. Then now needs to be kneaded. So yeah, put some flour on it and do your thing.
I like this part.
That's right. Flour your hands. And I'm going to put the dough there for you to knead.
Thank you.
Knead. Put a little bit more flour as you go. So then I'm going to wash my hands, and we're getting ready to put the dough on the baking sheet. And remember, this has to be baked in a very shallow dish. So use a cookie sheet. That will be the best option for the focaccia. Okay? We're very excited because we're going to have, in an hour, we're going to have beautiful homemade focaccia to serve. Beautiful.
Alright, now this should be good because this is a rustic bread. I'm not going to be kneading it forever.
No, only 5 minutes is enough. Because it's a quick prep bread. Now we're gonna, spray a baking sheet, cookie sheet, with some really generous because we don't want the bread sticking on the pan, okay? So we do the sides as well. Now we're done. Put the dough in, and just with your fingers, exactly. Now, we want to try to get as even as possible the surface, so that when it rises, it just is perfect and beautiful. And exactly. Good job. Let's try. The focaccia is not a very high bread. It's a crispy bread. While you're doing this, I'm going to get a cloth so we can cover it. Are we done yet?
Yep. I
have a damp cloth, not soaked, but just damp. And what this will do is it will seal all the moistures in the bread to ensure fluffy and soft bread. The bread is going to raise for an hour, and the best way for this to happen is to put it inside the oven just with the lights on. The heat of the light will be enough to raise beautiful bread. So just put the lights on. Okay, good, perfect. And we're going to forget about it for an hour, so set the timer.
Okay.
Now, an hour has passed, the focaccia has risen, and it's time for us now to do the final prep. Now let's see how it looks like. Beautiful. Do you notice that because the cloth was wet, it doesn't stick to the dough, so it gives us the perfect situation for us to get our seasoning and start making this a focaccia. Bea, could you please bring us what we need to finish this thing? So now we're ready to do the final steps and add some seasoning to the top and make an amazing crust for our focaccia.
Okay, so we have the olive oil, we have the roller, and I guess poker. We have our famous salt of life, the moon salt. We have fresh rosemary, it smells delicious, and fresh garlic. What exactly are we going to do here?
Okay, first we're going to prepare the surface, the top of the focaccia. And as you can see, it's a bit uneven. So in the old days, they used to poke it with your fingers. Okay, and that serves two purposes. One of them is to make the focaccia even, and the other one is to create just beautiful indentations to take the olive oil. So now we're here, it's a new century, and we're going to use this little roller. But if you don't have the roller, it's okay to poke with your fingers, okay? So let's see how this goes. Okay, as you can see, it flattened just a little bit, just enough to make it an even surface. And you see that it looks like a little waffle? It has all the indentations.
But I know you're not going all the way through.
No,
only
I am
a
not.
little bit.
Just a little bit to
just
make
to give it a texture?
And give it a texture. Okay, so let's do it all the way.
Beautiful.
See? It works. Okay, so the next step is an easy one. We're gonna the focaccia is known for being an oil that has a fried crust. And the way we're gonna fry in the oven is by loading it with olive oil, and then we'll add our seasonings. So this way, all the little pockets are gonna retain the oil, and we're gonna fry the seasonings, making it a perfect crusty bread. Okay, so let's do it.
All right.
Now don't be afraid, this is a rustic bread, so just Be really generous with your oil. Because remember, this is going to serve not only for taste, but it will be the frying agent that will seal in all the flavors. So now, without any fear, look, I'm just rubbing my hands, okay, and covering the whole top, making sure that it has a beautiful coat. Now, Bea, what I need you to do is to prep the garlic for us.
Got it. You want to just chop?
I want you to cut it in slim. No, we're not afraid of garlic, so we want it to be like thin slices, as thin as you can make them with a knife.
Okay, now as we're cutting the garlic, it's important to remember that we're doing it laterally, meaning the ends are on our middle finger and on our thumb. We're using our forefinger just to make sure that we can get thin slices and so that we don't cut our hand, of course. Delicious. So we're lucky. We're using big jumbo heads of garlic. And we've diced about 4 of them now, right?
That's right. So now next we're going to put the garlic first, because the garlic will be fried in the oil that is on top of the focaccia. So bring it over. Let's just distribute this evenly. Okay, actually it is easier to put it with our hands so we can place them and get an even. So help me out here. Let's do this together. Okay. And let's make sure that everybody gets a little bit of garlic.
I love garlic.
I do too. And especially roasted garlic, because it gives a sweet flavor to the focaccia.
And it's super healthy. It's great for your heart, great for the circulation. It's one of the main ingredients in the salt of life.
No, what not to like. Okay, I think we have just about enough. This is good. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use some of our
this
fresh,
combination of
rosemary, garlic, and oil is really divine, and it's used very frequently because, you know, it's really a fantastic team together. And what's going to bring it all together?
It's the moon salt.
That's right, because, you know, a salty crust is typical of focaccia. This is really fresh from the garden, so it'll be a lot easier to cut it with the scissors.
You got it.
Thank you.
These will do?
This will be perfect. So this is what we're doing. We're cutting the stem, and we don't want the stem part of the rosemary. This is gonna smell so good. I can already see it. All the oils from the rosemary is gonna blend with the garlic, and that's a classic combination. Rosemary and garlic really goes well.
I love rosemary in the oven.
Me too.
I love rosemary, period.
Okay, just a little bit more, and then we're
Okay,
gonna
so
be
now
ready
we're
for
going to
the
be adding the
salt.
moon salt to the mix, right?
That's right.
And this
that's
is
gonna make our
24.
dish.
This is 24 different herbs
Right,
and seasonings.
24 actually, 25 with the salt, different herbs and seasonings of all kinds from all over the world with different properties. And look how beautiful it is.
It's sensational.
You know, it is an incredible product because not only it appeals to your taste buds, but it appeals to your eyes, to your sides. Look, all the colors are mixed in. It's going to make this bread just come alive.
Well, let me ask you this. This is an aged salt, meaning that we leave it out for like 6 months at a time inside a Danish oak wood barrel. What is the purpose of aging our salt?
Well, the salt picks up all the natural oils from the spices and the herbs. So, you know, it is, actually we should say this, that this salt will salt the food twice.
Oh.
So we should only use, if you use normally like 2 tablespoons of a regular salt, you should cut it to
So the
about-
salt is almost like a sponge towards all the flavor.
That's right, because it has been
Alright,
washed.
well I'm ready. Let's put it in. Now we're going to shake this up just so we can get a nice even amount of everything in every place. Make sure that it's an even spread.
Okay, perfect. Open it up. And let's get it going.
Wow, you get along with that?
I know, I can't eat this by itself. It is really delicious.
Sensational.
Okay, so let's just dab it, and come on, help me out so we can finish this and put it in the oven.
Now you said a little goes a long way, so I should be using about half as much as I would regular table salt.
Yes. Very good.
There we go.
Oh,
And the final
that's
garnish.
perfect. And this is gonna stay at the oven for 30 minutes at 375. For 20 minutes, and we're gonna check and see. Sometimes it is ready by 20 minutes, and sometimes it takes a little bit more. So let's do it for 20.
Let's put it in.
Okay. There we go. The whole kitchen is going to smell like a garden.
I'm already hungry.
I am hungry too. Oops, it's ready. So let's get it out of the oven and see how it looks. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Perfect focaccia. Let's put it here and let it rest.
Oh my god.
It is delicious, isn't it?
I'm starving. I want it. Alright.
Let's put it on the rack because it has to stop cooking, so we have to remove it from the cookie sheet.
The spatula.
Okay, he's using a spatula as a support so that the focaccia doesn't break. And lifting it carefully from the pan. And we're just going to let it sit a few minutes so that it sets in. Beautiful. Look at that. Fantastic.
Okay, now we can get a real garnish that's alive and well. Just for the looks. Some green rosemary.
Okay, so now let's try our winning recipe. Let me cut a bit.
Yep.
I'm using a pizza cutter, but you can just use a regular bread knife if you prefer. Okay, let's put a few slices here. And look how perfect and fluffy this bread looks. Beautiful. Why don't you try a bit? Let's try this small. Let's see.
Yeah.
Come on, Bernardo. Focaccia is ready. Come, Megan.
Looks delicious.
Wow.
Okay.
I want that one.
I want this one then.
Oh my god.
It's really good.
Too much.
Good. Yummy, fluffy, crusty. This is the perfect family bread.
Thank you guys for watching. Bye.